It's our day to talk about Riverdale schools and all of the great things going on. Welcome to the morning show. We have District Administrator Jeff Campbell here, and again, he has brought friends, convinced him to come along today. Tanner Williamson, College and Career Coordinator, Special Education Teacher, is here. Nick Van Epps, High School Math Teacher, and Jackie Dahlberg, Junior High and High School Math Teacher, here to join us in the morning show to talk about their programs. Here we go, Jeff. Boy, you're looking dapper on the radio today.
Yeah, a little dress up. We got our nice elementary concert this afternoon. It's at our elementary school. It's dress up day for that. Everybody's looking spiffy, so you had to dress up. I had to get the Christmas tree tie out and
looking good,
ready to go. Yeah,
sure.
I feel good.
Do you have to sing like a guest vocalist?
No,
with the
they
group
don't want me doing
no?
that. That's not a priority on this one. We want to. It's a very big turnout, so we don't want people leaving, early. If I get up there, it wouldn't be good.
What time is that today then?
1:30 today. 1:30. It will be our 4K. They'll be joining this year through our 5th grade. They'll all be performing, and I think they kind of perform intermixed a little bit too. So yeah, it should be it's always a great turnout. Our gym's full. We pull out the bleachers from the end there, and those fill up, and it's a great day to see the community together. It actually had to be rescheduled. We had it last Wednesday, and then we had the snow day, so we moved it to this Wednesday. But everybody was able to make it work, and our elementary school's buzzing this morning with this happening in the afternoon.
I'll bet it is. Yeah, we're off and running. Why don't we mention inclement weather and the process that happens in the mornings, sometimes in the afternoon before that day, too.
Yeah, we sure. It is a process that we kind of work through, and we had our first one this past year. We've got 2 days built in, so those first 2 days are no academic requirements of our students. After that, then we go to a virtual day, which is all planned out and ready to go, and that information's been out to parents, and if not in our lower elementary, we'll be going out to them this week just to prepare for that. So we still have one more day, but that's always a process. And a lot of it goes to our transportation director. Used to be Pat Clark, now is Pete Wagner. Between Pete and I, we kind of split the route a little bit. He heads one direction. I'll head one direction kind of from my place. He'll head to more of those kind of those roads that are the trickiest roads to travel when there's inclement weather in the morning. So then we'll get together. We'll kind of make a decision. We usually, there's a nice little group chat with the area administrators that kind of, so everybody that borders, you kind of have an idea too along the borders what people are doing. So that really helps. It's kind of a collective effort with the area. And then from then on, we kind of make a decision whether it's going to be a delay, whether it's going to be a cancellation. And the biggest thing I think is the trickiest part is the early out days, because you have to get your bus drivers in, you have to get everybody in to get dismissed. You got to get lunch in there somehow because that's already been made. So you want to make sure that you get all those things in order before you make a decision. And a lot of times it's before I was in this role, I'm like, oh, that's not too bad to make a decision. It's a difficult call, now that I'm in this role, because one way or the other, you always want to err on the side of kids' safety, but we also have minutes that we need to get in the school day, and you don't want to let them out and then nothing happens. But then, you also don't want to bust, in the ditch, and then we have to, deal with that. So it's a tricky decision, but err on the best side for what's best to get all the kids home safely on any given day, or to put the kids out there into school on any given day.
When a school gets out early, it seems like that's kind of a no-brainer because things are coming in. But sometimes maybe you cancel school and all of a sudden it suddenly gets better. And of course you have naysayers on the sidelines saying, well, why did they cancel school? Yeah,
it is. And then you want to do it early enough too, because families, I kind of have a time frame that I figure is kind of the key point to make the decision early enough, because parents have to make plans for kids in the morning for daycare, and you want to make things as convenient as you can. This past week was just an odd situation where we delayed, things weren't happening, and then all of a sudden we got hit with a bunch of snow. There was some rain, kind of for some freezing stuff mixed in there, and the roads just didn't get better. And some of the plows pulled off the roads until it was done, and so we had to make a decision. We started on a delay and then ended up canceling with that situation. So it's it's not an easy choice, but like you said, at the end of the day, you've got to make sure you're thinking of the safety of the kids first.
For athletic buses and athletic runs, I think of the SWAL, and it could be something else, snowing in Southwestern and maybe not doing anything here. I mean, sometimes those are tough decisions too, right?
Yeah, we communicate really well with the schools that we're traveling to, and vice versa. That starts in the morning. That will start with our ADs in the morning. Usually Kurt, before school, already has a communication with the opposing school's AD if there's any chance of it. And then they already have a plan in place. Hey, by this time we're going to make a call. This is when we got to leave. If we need to move up the game, do a lot of that to try to get everybody home before things start. But yeah, a lot of communication goes into those decisions, and it has to be done in such a short period of time too. So when we travel all the way to like Southwestern at times, I know a couple years ago there was they ended up getting hit with snow. We had nothing going on here, and they had one of their highways shut down. They're like, well, we're not going to be able to, you're not going to make it here. And so, we canceled the game and moved it to another time. So yeah, a lot of that goes into those decisions, final decisions that have to be made.
This time of year, some holiday things going on. Tell me about the holiday shop.
Yeah, this is something we started, I believe it was last year, and trickled in a little bit, I think maybe the year before, but really full go last year. And this is, it's a fine oiled machine in there. I was in there yesterday. So what we ask our students is, if possible, to send $1 or so for each person they want to shop for. And then that a little bit of that money goes towards buying some things. Otherwise, we've had a huge amount of people volunteer volunteer to help with the holiday shop, but also just donating stuff off at the school. So each kid then gets an opportunity to shop for up to 4 to 5 people in their family with a number of things. We have a room in our school just full of stuff. This is coordinated by Kelly Schaefer and the Junior National Honor Society, along with a lot of the National Honor Society members at the high school level too. And she's kind of the spearhead, the person behind it. I went in yesterday. You see these little kids, they get to come in. I think I was in there with the group of third graders, and you see the older kids kind of leading them around, and they're looking at all this stuff, and they're said, oh, you got to get something for grandpa you got on your list, or mom or dad. And it's it's nothing elaborate, but it's the idea of giving them something, and the kids are so excited to do it. I think it's just one of the highlights of our year, and just to see the older kids help the younger kids and the way they communicate with one another. This year they actually added a pet area too, because a lot of kids want to go for their pets. So a lot of people donated a lot of stuff for pet stuff. And but Kelly, anything that you need to refill, be going to the dollar store, going to other areas and getting things. But yeah, we make sure every kid in the school goes home with something for the people they want to shop for, which is a very tall task to accomplish. But at the end of the day, when those things come home and they have something to open up from their child or on Christmas, it's makes it all worthwhile.
Is that a fundraiser, or are you just kind of
not really? No, we just use that money to buy those items, and then other things they'll contribute in donations. And our community's been wonderful. Some of the things that they're donating now, it's like, wow, it's pretty amazing, the people that are willing to support this. And you just see it grow from last year to this year, and just they wrap it all. They put it into bags for the kids, and the kids are taking it home. They were taking it home yesterday. And they'll do it again. They do it today, and then we finish up with all the students finishing up on Thursday. So with the concert today. But yeah, it's a great program. And I think what's neat is you go in there and you see the tables filled with stuff at the beginning, and then towards the end it's trickled down to almost nothing. So yeah, everybody will have a chance. It's art of giving something else, out to people.
That's awesome. Tanner, you probably don't get a chance to shop in there, do you?
No, I did not. No? I didn't get to see it, but I do help support it a little bit from the high school, and it's such a cool event. And all the high schoolers that go and help support it, they have nothing but good things to say, and just really rewarding for everybody involved. Really cool.
Tell us about your role at Riverdale and what you do.
Yep, so I'm a special education teacher. I think this is my 6th year in that role. And then I'm also a college and career readiness coordinator, which is my 2nd year doing that. They pair really nicely because I work with 11th and 12th grade students for our special ed department. And then the college and career readiness, I work with our whole high school, and some with the junior high, but mainly high school. And it's just really about creating opportunities, just trying to create any opportunity for success, especially when they leave the building. We have a lot of really great opportunities at our school, and I would say it's definitely trending that our students are using those opportunities more and more each year, and I would say our opportunities are growing too. I think I don't know, it's just really great. I was kind of reflecting on some of the students that I like kind of highlight in my mind for this year, and it's just such a wide range of opportunities that they're taking advantage of, and they're getting such a big step ahead on, if you're in an interview or something, you're competing for that position, or if you just really know what you want, they're just a step ahead, than, I thought my education was great, and it was, but the opportunities are just so different than they were, 10, 15 years ago. And I think our school has really embraced that, and I have definitely seen that with that new role too.
I was going to say that that has changed even since the time you were in school. I think students are a lot better prepared to kind of know what to expect, and I think future employers appreciate that as well, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. On Monday we had a mock interview day, and we brought in 22 community members, local employers, and they interviewed our junior class. Each junior student got 3 to 4 interviews, and they're mock interviews, but I watched many of them take place. It's a real deal. I mean, you're not actually going for a position, but everyone treats it like you are. And I had a lot of conversations with the employers, and this is what they want. They want to be in the school, and they want to be meeting the kids. One of the biggest employers in our school district was there, and he told me, he said, we don't want to be pulling people from anywhere else. We want to hire these students, and if we can make these connections now, I mean, it's better for them. It's better for us, obviously, because if we can keep our students close to our district, it's just a lot of great things can happen for us and for our employers.
Have the employers given you some clues on some things that they're looking for?
Yeah, not all, like, at a state level for sure. Like IRCs, which are industry recognized credentials, such as like getting trained in safety by OSHA, stuff like that, or getting different welding experience, just, to give some broad examples. But the employers tell the state, what we need out of high schoolers, and then we can provide those trainings. And the great thing about those trainings is our state or our school can actually get some funds back from the state by providing those trainings to our students. But really, the best part of that is the students can leave the school with something on their resume that isn't just a verbalized skill. They can show up and show you that they can perform this skill, which to me is really important. That they can feel confident when they leave school, knowing that they can go perform a task.
Was your school district recently recognized?
Yep. So Southwest Tech every year does like a banner celebration to recognize schools that are performing well in their dual credit programs, and Riverdale participates in 3 of their dual credit programs, and so they have like a gold, silver, bronze, and we were a silver level for the 3rd year in a row. And it's like just over 40% of our students are taking advantage of those programs, which was like it was like a 6% increase from the previous year. So that's a big jump in our small school, and which is just reassuring that the students are taking it seriously too. But also just the fact that, from Jeff and all the way down, that everybody's supporting that movement in education. I feel like in our school, especially, that we want our kids to be career ready, whether it's college bound or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of times, years ago, it was all about the 4-year degree, which is still a great thing, obviously.
Yeah, and it certainly is. And I mean, like for me to get to my career, there really wasn't another way. But nowadays, there's a lot of different paths to get to so many different opportunities. And I'm really happy to see that employers support all those different pathways. And this year we have a student that is going to be graduating high school and college from Southwest Tech with a welding degree, 1-year welding degree, and he already has a welding job lined up. We have another student that's taking some pre-apprenticeship heavy equipment operator courses that he will go join the union this summer once he turns 18, and he will have a year head start on other kids that are coming in same age, and he'll be very successful, making a lot of money and have great benefits and a great career if he chooses to stay there. We have another student that has half of her dairy technician program completed already, and so a big focus when I first got in this role was, wow, like the kids can save so much money and save so much time when they leave here. But really, I've kind of come around on that. It's like, it's not really about that. I mean, that's a big reason why we do it, because we want to provide all of that. But what that time and money allows for them is so many opportunities when they leave. I mean, instead of being in college for an extra semester, they're making new connections and exploring new opportunities, and hopefully finding success. Obviously, that's what we want.
It does get them in the workforce a little faster in some cases too, doesn't it?
Certainly, yeah. And that's part of part of what we do is, we have work experience where the kids can leave at different parts of their school day and go and get real world experience. And it's the idea behind that is that we're teaching them skills in our school. We want them to go and use those schools, and it's a good transition for those students that are really motivated, or it's even a great thing for somebody that has no clue what they want to do. Just go get your feet wet and get a job, get something that make some connections, and you'll never know where it's going to go.
Were you a straight A math student back in school, were you?
Well, I attended math class every day, and I never failed math class.
Well, there you go.
That's my answer.
You and I both. We transitioned to the other side of the room. We're going to talk to a couple of the math teachers at Riverdale, Nick Van Epps and Jackie Dahlberger here. Nick, you're a return visitor to the morning show. We must not have scared you off last year. So.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me back.
Tell us about your role at Riverdale.
So this year I'm teaching a bunch of math. I'm teaching some Algebra 2, some pre-calc, some calculus, some stats, and then I'm also teaching some computer science as well, which is new to our building.
That's interesting. So never a dull moment.
No, it's nice to have a lot of variety.
Yeah.
You might do some Algebra 2, and then I'm looking for some change of pace. So then I've got another thing going on, another deal, and every day there's some new challenges. Each hour there's some new challenges, and you get to work with a lot of students, which is really nice.
Now, Tanner talked about working with Southwest Tech. Are there some dual credit opportunities as well with math?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the last few years, a huge addition to our math department and our math program, as we're trying to expand opportunities for students, is we're partnered through Oshkosh with this program called CAP, which is Cooperative Academic Partnership Program. And what that means for students is they take, for example, pre-calculus, stats, or calculus, they take that with us. So I'm their adjunct professor in class along with other students, and we do our best, we learn a bunch, and at the end of the year, when they get an A, I fire that off to Oshkosh as well, and Oshkosh gives them an A for the corresponding class on their campus. And so if our students are interested in going to Oshkosh, Oshkosh not only gives them those credits in that class, but they'll offer them some scholarship money as well. But if a student's interested in going somewhere else, let's say Southwest Tech, UW-Platteville, UW-Madison, wherever, those credits will transfer to their corresponding classes. So not only are our students getting a lot of opportunity to learn at Riverdale, they're also getting these opportunities to accumulate college credits. That might mean that they don't need to take math in college. Maybe it gets them a step further in college. There's all these opportunities available to students so that their time at Riverdale is used well, and it gets them a step forward in the future as well. It's really a great program. We have right now over 30 students are receiving college credit at Oshkosh in a math class. And that number just seems to continue to rise every year. It's a really great opportunity for kids.
How does it work? I mean, years ago they used to call it long distance learning, where you were connected with other schools and universities. Do you still do some of that, like the video conferences or things like that, or not?
No, we're fortunate that it's even better. Oshkosh entrusts me with like the power of teaching the class live at Riverdale. So we have students in the room that are CAP students, so they're like doing the dual credit opportunity, but other students are just there receiving Riverdale credit, which is cool too. And so I'm just working with students in the classroom like you would any other high school class, but it's not just for Riverdale. It also offers this CAP opportunity through Oshkosh. So we're really fortunate, and we hope that Oshkosh continues to partner with us in the future because, it's so great for our students.
Yeah, no doubt. Could you describe your teaching style?
Sure. So more and more, we're really trying to focus on what's good for students, what skills are we hoping they learn. And I know a lot of listeners out there are probably thinking, man, high school math, I don't use a lot of that in my daily life. I haven't had to find the slope of a line, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get that. That's so real, right? I'm a high school math teacher, and there's tons of math I learned in high school that I'm never using. But I think what we're really focused on is math class really gives us this good opportunity to exercise our brains, to work on problem solving, to work on communicating with other people. I mean, these skills that we're all using all the time, that employers really value, that we value in ourselves, and just, help make our lives smoother and easier to manage. So with that in mind, these ideas of problem solving, communicating, explaining our ideas, understanding other people's ideas, in math class, we're trying to spend a lot of time we're trying to get out of our seats. We're trying to stand together at some whiteboards, work together on problems that are getting slightly more challenging each time we look at a new one. So we're noticing what's changing, noticing patterns, explaining to each other, trying to understand others' ideas, challenging ideas, and then making some mistakes and learning from them. So it makes for a really nice classroom environment. Kids are into it. Kids are engaged, and I think students find it a lot more engaging and interesting than sitting down at a worksheet for 45 minutes. So, and also minimizes the amount of time that I need to be talking at them. So while they might be impressed with some math I can do, that's not really the point of class, is to be impressed with your math teacher. It's meant to be learning yourself. So it maximizes the amount of time that students can be learning, and minimizes the amount of time that they have to be listening to their math teacher, which is also a plus. So it's a win-win.
Talk about the challenges, though, because, in any class you probably have this, but in math maybe especially, you have the student that gets it. Like, they get it, but then you've got somebody else that, like me, that it might take them the whole year to get it. So you've got different levels, right?
Yeah, there's a lot more people like you out there than there are people that just instantly get it. So that means that class needs to be directed not just at the students who are getting A's every single time, but really class is focused on students that need some support, need some time, need some help. We know that good mathematicians aren't necessarily people that instantly get it, that can do it quickly. That really what makes people good mathematicians is that they can think deeply, that they can take their time, that they can expand what they know beyond what they currently do and apply it to new situations. So we're really working hard, especially in this model where we're standing up, we're working together. It provides students a lot of time to kind of play around with their ideas, to investigate new ideas, whether they're right or wrong, and just to kind of communicate about what they're noticing. And that allows more time for individual practice for those students that need that. It also provides a lot of experts in the room. So maybe your group's struggling a little bit, but the group next to you, they've got it figured out. And you say, hey, what do you guys know that we don't know? And they can help you out. That provides a nice opportunity for your peers to be the experts. That can be a variety of students in the room. It's a good opportunity for you to practice asking for help, to practice learning from other people, and it provides me an opportunity to go find all the students in the room that really need some focused one-on-one help or an expansion of their learning, or to go find some students who are skating by pretty easy and really challenge them as well. It gives me a lot of flexibility to help our students with what they need, and it gives students a lot of agency in the classroom to be both experts and learners at the same time.
What type of math is your favorite to teach?
I really do like a lot of it, but I think at the moment, somewhere between Algebra 2 and statistics is a lot of fun. Stats is really neat in that we all are interacting with statistics all the time, whether we know it or not. And learning more and more about it and helping students learn more and more about it. It's just really interesting and it's fun. We get to do a lot of different projects with that. And Algebra 2 as well. really describes a lot of the world around us. So we can do some neat projects and applications where students can think about, oh yeah, I saw that happen the other day. That's crazy. That's really neat to bring into the classroom and engage students with. So both of those probably top of my list.
Do you work closely with Jackie in terms of your programs?
So this year, for the first time ever, we have a third math teacher at our building, which is this huge deal. Mm-hmm. So for years and years, it's been Jackie and I working together side by side. She's an excellent team member. And now we have a third person as well, Micah Thingvold, and he's been really wonderful as well. So we kind of have a triumvirate now. Ruling over the math territory of Riverdale. But I really couldn't ask to work with better people. They're both so supportive. They're so smart and clever, and they really have what's best for students in mind, which is really what draws us all together.
Well, good morning, Jackie. Good to have you on the program as well.
Good morning, thanks.
Good to have you here. Tell us a little bit about your role at Riverdale.
I teach junior high and high school math, so I teach 8th grade math along with 8th grade math essentials and high school geometry and college math that's a dual credit through Southwest Tech.
Okay. So in terms of, and we talked about dual credit opportunities, but could you talk about that a little bit?
We teach college math that's a dual credit through Southwest Tech, so they can get math credit through there. That gives them the opportunity when they go to a 2-year. It can transfer to most 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Can you relate to a youngster? I mean, when you were in school, did math come easy to you, or?
For the most part, yeah.
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 But you can relate to somebody that maybe doesn't get it
yeah.
too. Then.
Oh yeah, definitely can. Yeah, I had my struggles through school, but for the most part, it came a little bit easier. But yeah, I can relate to a lot of the younger kids working through stuff. Yeah.
Do you have kids at different levels? Let's say somebody's in 7th grade, but are they taking like high school math? Do you have some students that do that from time to time?
We do have our 8th graders that are stronger math students do have the opportunity as 8th grade to take algebra. So they're in our high school algebra class getting a high school credit, which benefits them. They can get to the higher math by their senior year and just challenges them a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was never a fan of geometry because I had to remember too many things to solve the problem. What's the term there?
Theorems.
Theorem. There you go. Too many theorems.
Yeah.
How do you remember all that? I mean, is there a method to the madness, or?
There's not. There's not. Throughout the years, I've seen that with kids. Like, just that memorization is hard. So me personally, I hated remembering all that stuff. And geometry, that was probably my hardest one. We've created a geometry dictionary that has all the theorems. They write the theorems, definitions, examples, and they get to use that throughout the year to kind of take that pressure off the memorizing and just practicing the skill and knowing how to use it versus that memorization.
Could you describe your style of teaching?
Kind of similar. We teach a lot in the same. Working in groups at the boards, helping each other, learning from each other, and just having the students work through at the boards or in their groups versus me lecturing to them all the time. A big thing of learning from each other in the classroom, building those connections and their knowledge.
Nick talked about it as well, but I think showing a student how they can apply it to everyday life is pretty big, isn't it?
Yes, it is a huge part of making that connection with the kids of why it's important, making that real life connection. We do a lot more of the real life connection through our college math with the dual credit of if they're going into nursing or mechanics, we can build a lot more of those skills in.
If you have a student who's interested in sports, too, I'm sure that showing them how to do stats is another thing, right?
Yep, the sports. We've tied a lot into like the farming for our areas and that, especially in our junior high. A lot of kids interested in the agriculture, so we talk about that a lot, of how it applies.
Do you and Mike and Nick have competitions amongst yourselves sometimes, with the...
Not really.
Not yet? Okay. What about story problems? I was never a fan of those either. Do you like story problems?
Oh, I love them. The kids
Really?
do not, but I love story problems. It ties a lot of the real world stuff in the story problems of just where they're really going to see it. Those are my favorite parts of it. But yes, the kid's not a fan of the story problems either.
Yeah. But it is more practical in real life.
It is more practical. They see the connection with how it really relates to real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're going to catch a train, but there's another one coming the other direction, you want to know what time you're going to meet, right?
That is the best story problem.
I still once in a while have nightmares about those things. We'll be back with more coming up on the morning show as we highlight Riverdale schools today on the morning show. A reminder on our morning show that Ithaca currently experiencing an internet outage along with several other school districts in southern Wisconsin. If you're attempting to email a teacher or a staff member, that email will not get to them, but you can certainly call the office at 608-585-2311. Jeff, you and I talked about that in the break. You guys have a little bit of a backup at Riverdale.
We do, yeah. With our phone systems and everything, they run off our internet. And the main internet system kind of through the state of Wisconsin, through the school districts in Wisconsin. So besides that, we also have a backup internet that we have in place. And so it helps our phone systems and different systems stay up when the main system goes down. So it's a local internet system that we use. And that was put in about 3 years ago as part of kind of our safety upgrades and planning that way. It's been so really, when it does go down, we don't experience much. We really don't even know a lot of times. We can check back if it did go down and our backup was used. But it's been very helpful for our district and to continue moving forward when these things do happen.
Mm-hmm. The kids don't get a day off then.
No, we got to make sure they're there any minute we can get out of them. So.
You have an alumni day coming up, is that correct?
We had one. We had one last Friday.
Right.
Yeah, it was huge success. We had 50 alumni, either in person or virtual. We had some of them virtually. I think we had one all the way from Hawaii. The oldest alumni we had there was from, I think, the class of 64. I think Tanner can help me there. And the newest graduates, about 2022. And, they met with the kids throughout the day in small groups, just giving kind of their experience. Kids would ask questions. It was a very interactive time, 45 minutes with all the alumni. And just nice to see the people back and also to see people go on to have successful careers after kind of sitting in the same boat that these kids are right now. And some of the favorite questions that I had is, when you were sitting kind of as a freshman, sophomore, junior, did you envision you'd be sitting where you are now? And it's interesting to hear their story and their journey. And everybody has those failures, and that was a constant theme that they talked about. You're going to have things that don't go your way, not necessarily failures, but there's ways that kind of draw you one way or the other, and you kind of learn from those things. And it was good for our students to hear that it's all right. You don't have that straight line path to where you're going to get to, and it's kind of that journey along the way that you can reflect on later on and be like, wow, that was a in and out kind of journey, but boy, I'm where I want to be. And it's nice to have the people come back, I think, to see the school, because a lot of times people get back in the area maybe for holidays and that, but they really don't get in to see the buildings and that, and then they start reminiscing about how things have changed. Meeting with staff members, we had a lunch in there where we invited all the staff, both the elementary and the high school, in to have lunch with these former students that a lot of them had, and it's neat, and it's neat to see the groups and the different classes get back together and people they haven't seen for a long time. So it's a good chance. It's a day that we'll have every other year, so we're planning it again in 2027, kind of that first week of December. So if we always put it out there, anybody can, inquire now. They're welcome to send, contact the school and say they'd be interested, and we'll get them on the list. And planning has kind of already started for that 2 years from now.
You didn't organize an old-timers wrestling tournament while they were there?
No, not. We actually could have. We had a couple back. I tell you, I don't know. John Troxel still might be able to take most of the people there.
He might.
So he was there. He looked pretty tough still. So.
But seriously, I think it's great to see the students, faces, and then probably maybe somebody talks about, this was my major, but I changed my path and I went this direction. And I think it's good for the kids to know that, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I think when you listen from where they started to where they are now, and it's just kind of where they went through different things they had to go through, different things that happened that all of a sudden led them to where they are today. It is good to see, and I think the kids really have to realize that, you know, they sat in that same spot that you're in right now. And sometimes as a high school student, you're not looking that far down the line, but our alumni did a great job of saying that. I was sitting there same time you were. My sophomore year, I didn't take this serious enough, and now I wish I would have. You know, things of that nature that you might hear that maybe their parents tell them, but a lot of times they tune out their parents, so they might listen to that person and grab it from them. But yeah, just to hear from their experiences and know that the pride that these people had when they came back was really nice. And then we also had an introduction by one of our alumni, Michael Hernan, you know, one of the WRCO personalities here, and he did a great job introducing all the alumni. So we said their year, and that was neat to see all the way from 1964 all the way to 2022 lined up in front of the gym, and the different years that we had represented. So another great day. We're hoping to build and even bring, you know, get up into that 70-some range of alumni that we can bring the next time.
Awesome. And the next school year, you already making plans for the calendar next year?
We are. We're going to have a couple changes next year with our school calendar, and I know it's not on everybody's mind right now, but we had it approved by the school board. We usually do that around this time. We're going to add about 5 minutes to each day next year, which is going to actually cut down and get us out at the Memorial Day holiday for the next school year. So I know sometimes when people we haven't even finished this school year, but we have to plan this far ahead for days and contracts and things of that nature that will be coming up here in March in that area. And so one thing we're going to a little more emphasis on, we were able to get a little bit more professional development time into our days, and so that's going to be helpful, and also full staff. So we'll have like cooks, bus drivers, custodians, all of that in together up to 4 days throughout the year, which will be nice. We'll meet as an entire staff, do some training together, but our teaching staff too, there's so many more requirements that they have that we have to try to get this training in. This way they're not having to do it on their own time after contract time, and that we can supply that training for them during the day. So yeah, some minor changes along there, but I think people kind of see that Memorial Day holiday as kind of the end point of school, and we'll try to continue to match that each year if possible.
And I think by that time, it's the students, I mean, everybody's kind of ready to, you know, kind of call it a year.
They are. I think they're ready to go and recharge, and then summer start, and then, you know, our summer school programming follows shortly after. So.
Mm-hmm. Tanner, some things that you want to talk about here as we wrap up your conversation. I know you do work with the community and kind of organizing some of these job opportunities too.
Yeah. The first thing I wanted to say was really just to thank all of our business partners and employers in the school district and in the area, because, you know, like Alumni Day or our mock interview day that I talked about, or the career fair that we'll have in the spring. I mean, it just wouldn't be possible without them. And not that they're just willing to show up, but they're really supportive and creative also, and it's created a lot of opportunities for our students, and we're just really thankful that they are willing to do that, because, I mean, it's great to see that they're invested in our student success too. And you know, if any businesses are listening and are interested, just contact the school, and we'd love to expand like relationships with any businesses in our area. You know, I think about a few different ones in our area that have reached out over the past few years, and we've increased, you know, our youth apprenticeships that work for them, or our work experience students. And I don't think any employers are regretting those moves, and we're certainly not, because they're seeing the success that the students have from being out of the school and using those the skills that we've given them. I'm just really thankful that our community is willing to do that, and I hope that we can continue to grow it.
How does your day go? Is any day typical as far as your coordination with college and career? And then as special education teacher, do you have certain hours dedicated to those goals?
Yeah, typical probably wouldn't be a way I would describe my day, but I really enjoy it. I get to work with all of our students in our whole building and really focus on success right now, but also especially success after school, which is really important to me and to us, to our whole building. Our school district, I feel, does a lot of intentional things to build that success when they leave, and that's really important to me. And someday I might be helping a student apply for a job, or making a phone call. For some reason, that's like a really tough thing for students nowadays. Making a phone call would be like making a cold call job interview or something. So, or just helping with a resume or just finishing an assignment for the day. It's a lot of different things, but I really enjoy it. And, I love what I do, and I love working at Riverdale.
That's interesting that you say that, because things that maybe we don't think about, but how to act at a job interview, eye contact and handshakes and things like that too, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of simple things that we might take for granted, but really that, not everybody gets taught that by their parents, or, we might assume they know that, but they might not. And, learning those things can really empower them to apply all of the other skills that we've given them.
Moving over to Jackie here one last time. Jackie, I know that you really work hard with an after-school program. Could you talk about the homework help?
Yeah, we do have a homework help after school that we run 4 days a week, where any kid from 7th grade through 12th grade can stay. I've even had a few 6th graders occasionally come over and just can get some homework help on any subject, or even just a quiet place to work that they don't want to take their work home.
So it's not just math.
It's not just math. It's any subject they come in with that we can work through questions if they just want to work or if they really need help with what they're struggling with.
You get probably challenged yourself then sometimes, a subject that you don't deal with every day.
I have. I've had a few of those history or English questions that I have to work through myself.
And they're going to be a little bit of a change next year in terms of math?
Yep. Our dual credit, we met kind of with Southwest Tech this summer about what class would be best to fit our students to kind of help them with any opportunity. So we're taking our college math and it's changing to applied math, which is really similar to college math, and math with business applications. So they'll have a few more opportunities for math for us in our district, but also getting for dual credit to advance their opportunities.
You must look at that as a positive thing then.
Yes, I do. We're benefiting our kids in many ways, giving them more opportunities to take some more math and learn, and just less they have to do outside of school to pursue their journey.
And Nick, we want to talk a little bit about, we talked AP courses, but maybe we could talk about the difference in those?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's more than one way. There's many ways to get college credit for your high school classes. One of the ones we were trying to tout is our CAP program through Oshkosh. That's dual credit. But AP, Advanced Placement's another good way to go. The way CAP works is you have to, because it's through Oshkosh, you have to take the college entrance exam and test in. And if you test in, then you spend the whole year, you take the class, you learn a ton, and you get credit at Oshkosh, which can transfer anywhere or can stay at Oshkosh. Whereas AP is a little bit different in that you take the course all year, and at the end of the year, you get one big summative test that says, hey, how much did you learn? And if you learned a lot, you can take that test result with you to any college in our area, and they'll give you credit upon arrival. So it's pretty neat. What it really provides our students, again, opportunity, it's kind of the word of the day for us, is that we have more ways to receive that college credit and really more opportunities to test for it. So you can test as an entrance, that's for CAP. You can be successful in the class either way. And at the end of the year, if you weren't able to test in at the start, you can take the AP test and still receive credit that way. It gives students more opportunities to show that they've learned a lot, more opportunities for students to show that they're prepared, and just more opportunities. It's really great for students. So we're trying as much as possible to flood the board with these options so that students can find a path that works for them, no matter what their past was, no matter what their future holds, that students can kind of reach out and take in some of these math credits and unique learning opportunities that fit things they're interested in, paths that they're hoping to pursue. And even more so is what it really does for kids is we all have these ideas of what we want to be when we're like 17, and 60% of us aren't probably doing that by the time we're 35. So all of these college credits and AP opportunities, they also provide us the opportunity to be flexible in our lives so that when we're 19 and our plans change, we can roll with it. And we still have all these great opportunities available to us beyond Riverdale, and we can still have these successful career paths, even if they're winding and curving from one side to the other.
How tough are those college exams?
Yeah, they're pretty tough, but we have really well prepared students. students that are taking geometry with Jackie are learning a ton. And so then when they're going to take that placement exam, they've learned a ton of algebra, they've learned a ton of geometry, and then they're pretty well prepared. Our pass rate is pretty high for testing into CAP. And then for those students that aren't in CAP, they're taking those AP courses. The AP tests are really tough. That's like 3 to 4 hours, really grilling you, trying to see, have you learned a lot this year? And not just stuff in the last week. It's, did you really learn that stuff way back in September and October? So those are very challenging for students. But we find that Riverdale students across the board are pretty successful. When students put their mind to it, they work hard, they have the opportunity to really receive those credits. And we're really proud of our students and what they're able to achieve.
We talked before we went on the air about the 6-7 phenomenon. The kids, that's kind of the funny joke this year, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. 6-7 is great. I think, especially, math class, that comes up a fair amount. And so, anytime the meme of the year is just harmless and fun and silly, let's bring that on. Sometimes the current trend is like how to be mean to your friends. Not awesome. And sometimes it's, raising up your friends, having fun with your friends, being silly with your friends. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So yeah, as much as I'd love to destroy some of these things for my students, this one I'm happy to not interject too much, keep it rolling. Yeah, they can 6-7 as much as they darn feel like.
Keep it fun. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good deal. Jeff, anything else you want to add today?
Just one thing. I think that provides us the opportunity. They didn't mention it, but these two, you have to have your master's in math.
Yeah.
And without that, we're not able to do the programming and that. So, you got to find staff members that are willing to go above and beyond to further their education. And with that, then that's kind of the eligibility to be able to have these opportunities for kids. So when you have staff members willing to do that, you got to take advantage of it. And just another kind of example of the great people we have kind of leading our kids at Riverdale.
When does the semester end?
We're finished up right in the middle of January, 17th, 18th, right around there. Might roll into the 20th, around there, 21st. I don't have the exact date, but it's right in the middle of January. The other thing we got a couple things coming up. Tomorrow night, we've got Soup Supper fundraiser for our music parents before the boys basketball game at home. It's alumni pep band. Should be a great night for kind of everybody to get together, get out to the gym, and cheer on the Riverdale. And then our girls play Friday, Monday, and we've got our elementary music concert here this afternoon. And then we'll shut down for a little bit and come back in January ready to roll again.
Indeed, it goes by quickly, doesn't it?
Sure does.
As we always say. Thanks for coming by today.
You bet. Always appreciate it.
We'll see you in January, and the best to you this holiday season, too.
Yep, you too, Phil.
Jeff Campbell joining us, Riverdale District Administrator, Tanner Williamson here, Nick Van Epps, and Jackie Dahlberg, all staff members at Riverdale Schools.